Okay, morning all. Well done if you have given some of these a go. Now we have learnt how to do all of these in autumn, so I did think it was a good idea just to go back over some of the key learning that we've already done. Because it's always good to just keep refreshing all of these different skills that you're using in today's lesson. Because there are so many skills in maths, so it's just good to refresh, really. Okay, I'm going to go over slightly easier ones, and then I'll go over if you've tried any of the hard ones today. Okay, so these, when we're trying to make 1,000, we're thinking about number bonds. For these ones, I would have used your number bonds to 100 to help you out. I might have also used a little bit of rounding. So 650, what I would do is round it up to 700 because then that makes it really easy. So I know that I'm going to have to do 50. It's going to be some sort of 50. Now, because as I've added 50, that makes it 700. So I'm now, I only need to add 300 more. Okay. And I would have done the same for the rest of them. I'm going to see if I can get the right size text. Let's make it slightly smaller because that's going to be easier for me. Okay, 150, again, I'm going to round it. I'm going to add 50. So that takes me to 200. How many more do I have to add to 200 to get to 1,000? Well, I need to add 800. So that makes it 850. Okay, same with this one. This should be a nice, easy one. How many more do you need to add to 950 to get to 1,000? That should be 50. Okay, next one, 250. Again, I know that I need to add 50 to try and round it up to the nearest 100. So I add the 50, and then that takes me to 300. 300, how many more do I need to add to get to 1,000? That's 750. I would have also perhaps even used some of the knowledge that I'd already learned. Okay, here is our place. I'm going to be going quite quickly, so if you do want to just rewatch anything, please make sure you rewind, as I'm going to be whizzing through them to mark them, just like we normally do when we're marking our work. Okay, this is our place value. Our big box represents what number? I think I'm going to get a blue for this one because I'm already in red. That represents 1,000. These two represent what? They represent 100. So I've got 1,000, add 100, add 100. So at the moment I've got 1,200. So I can write that in, 1,200. How many 10s do I have here? How many 10 bricks? I've got one 10 brick, and then I've got one tiny little 1 brick. So altogether, my number is 1,211. Okay, again, this is another place value one. We've got 2,907. What does that 6 represent? Should have written 60. 2,967. All right, calculate. But you could do these mentally in your head, or you could on a piece of paper, perhaps even have drawn a number line. Now for this one here, instead of adding on 60, I perhaps would have rounded this up to 100. So I would have gone 90, add on a 10 to make it 100, to make it 150. Okay? 60 add 70. Now these are what we call near doubles. So what we can do is we can do 60 add 60, which we know is 120, add on an extra 10, and that takes us to 130. So most of these we should have been able to do in our head. Okay, again, this is almost like this is what I would almost say halving one. So I know that half of 80 is 40. So what I can do is I can take away that 40 already. I'm going to take that away. So then I only need to take away 40. So I've got 100, take away 40. Well, we know our number bonds to 100, so we know that that's 60. Okay, so just using these mental maths to help us. 200 take away 120. Let's take away the hundreds. Let's get that out of the question. 200 take away 100, we know is 100. So we've taken that out. We've now got 100 left. 100 take away 20, using our number bonds to 100 is 80. So all of those should have just perhaps been mental maths. Okay. Work out 480 divided by 4. Now this one, we're going to use our place value. So we're going to just, at the moment, ignore the 0. Going to ignore that for now. And we're going to do 48 divided by 4, because that's a bit more manageable. Now, when we do there's 2 ways I would do this. When I'm dividing by 4, I can either halve it and halve it again, or I can partition it. I can partition it into 40 divided by 4. I don't have a divide symbol on my keyboard, which we know is 10. And then I could do 8 divided by 4. 8 divided by 4, which we know is 2. Then I've got 10 and 2, which altogether makes 12. Now, 480 divided by 4 isn't 12. 48 divided by 4 is 12. So what do we need to do with this 0? Oh, we need to make it 10 times bigger. So it's 120. Okay. All right, let's move on down here. 1 stamp costs 90p. What do 3 stamps cost? So here, I would probably use my times table knowledge, because I know that instead of doing 90 times 3, remember what we always do? If I'm doing 90 times 3, instead of doing 90, that's quite big, let's do 9 times 3. Let's count in our 9s. 9, 18, and I always forget 3 times 9, 27. So 9 times 3 is 27. Let's make it 10 times bigger by adding our 0, 270. So that's now not in pennies though. What's 270 pennies in pounds? £2.70. £2.70. Okay, add these numbers together. Now, this is laid out in a column, but we know that our more effective method and efficient method is on a beautiful number line. So I'm going to start by 719. I'm going to first add my 1s because that's nice and easy. In fact, I might even add 11 straight away. So I might go 720 would add the 1, and then let's add our 10, which then leaves us to 700 and results on a mind blank. So I added the 1 to 720, add on another 10, 730. It's a lot of pressure making a video. Oh. Okay, so I've added on both of those. I'm now going to add on the 200, 730, 830, 930. Okay. Right. Guy has £7. He buys a drink for £1.42 and a bag of crisps for 40 pence. How much money does he have left? Now, this one is doing 2 steps. We've got to do the first thing and then the next thing. So what's the first thing that we need to do? We need to add these 2 numbers up. Now, I don't really need a number line because I know that £1.42, I'm going to add on 40p. 40 add 40 is 80. So I'm going to do £1.80, and then I've still got the 2 pence. £1.82 is how much I spent. Now, I've got £7. I am going to make a brand new sheet so I can lay this out nice and big. Woo! Okay, so if we're working out the change, we are trying to get to £7 over here, 700 pennies, and we started on £1.82. So we started on 182 pennies. It was £1.82, wasn't it? Yes. Okay, I'm going to use my rounding. I'm going to round to the nearest 10. I'm going to round to the then I'm going to round to the nearest the next one, and then I'm going to round the hundreds. Right, let's round our 1s. How many do we need to add to get to £1.90? 2 and number bonds to 10, 2 and 8. How many do I need to add to then get to £2? I'm going to round up. 90 add 10, 10 pence, 8 pence. Now, how many do I need to get from £2 to £7? 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. £5. let's count our jumps. £5, add 10p, add 8p. How much do I have left? I've got £5 and 18 pence. £5 and 18 pence. That was a tricky one because it was 2 steps. You had to do 2 things there. Okay, fill in the boxes. This might just use our mental maths. So we've got 542, add 12. Let's add the ones first. I know the ones, I might have to use my text. I'm going to add the 2. So that brings me to 544. Now I'm going to add the 10, 554. All right. Okay, now I'm on 554. I'm going to add 6. I'm going to use my number bonds to 10. 554, add 6, 560. Now I'm going to add 8. Nice and easy. There's no ones. 568. Nice and easy. Now I'm going to add 15. Now, I might prove a little bit more because I've got no real way of going about it. I've got no doubles. I've got no number bonds to 10. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do first. I'm going to add on extra 2. So I'm going to add on the 2 because I think that's going to make it easier. So I'm going to make it 570. Go straight to. Now I only need to add on 13. So that makes it a little bit more easier. 570 add 13. 500 and my numbers won't click. 583. That's what we ended up with. Hopefully I'm doing all of these correct. I'm sorry if you may have got different answers as I might be rushing through them. So if I haven't got any of these correct. All right. How much is 5 20p coins? Right. Get on your fingers. Are you ready to count in 20s? 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So we've got, what would that be? 100 pennies. That would be £1. 2 10p coins. 10, 20. Nice and easy. So that's 20p. 20p. And then 6 2p coins. Double 6 is 12. Okay, we got £1, 20, and 12. All together, that's a nice mental calculation. £1.32. Good job making our way through. Right, the tray holds 8 plants. How many trays are needed for 72? Well, this is a division question that we're doing here then. We should know our 8 times table quite well because I know that 10 times 8 is 80. Take away a lot of 8, so using our repeated subtraction, that would mean that I need 9 trays. That should have just been a division one. Okay, this is a nice easy one. You're like, there were 240 seats on a plane. Half were full. How many were empty? So what do we need to do to find how many empty ones we were? We just need to halve it. Now, halving 240 might be quite a lot. So let's halve 24 first. Half of 24 is 12. Remember to halve the 2s, half the 4s, half the 4. And then we make it 10 times bigger, as we've already made it 10 times smaller. Okay, all of these numbers, this I know that a lot of us are really confident on this, so this should just be a whizzing through, making sure you're looking at your thousands first, then your hundreds. So we've got 1,024 first, 1,120, 204, 2004, 2004, and then 3,111. That's a lot of maths. If you could do all of those, that's amazing. If there were maybe some that you're like, oh, that was a bit tricky, just maybe go over it or get your parents to maybe write you out some more of a similar question and just keep practicing that skill. Because there's so many skills here just in this little set of questions. All right, I'm just going to see how much time I've got on my video. Oh, I'm just about to run out, so I'll make another one for the hard questions. Okay. Well done. Good job.